Hi, how are you going? Welcome to week 6 of the Active Body and Mind program. Today we're going to be chatting about how to love carbs that love you and how to still achieve your body transformation goals. By now you've been eating the MP way for quite some time, and I'm wondering how it is that you're feeling about carbohydrates. We've talked a lot about carbohydrates and particularly differentiating between the different types. We've kept it simple by talking about low energy and high energy carbohydrates. And I'm wondering if you're seeing how eating high energy carbohydrates in the window rather than any time is working for you. What I've noticed is that often people will make it work for them when times are going good. So when it's in their own homes, when everything's going smoothly, they can find a way to stick to the principles around when and how to eat carbohydrates. Yet it's often when the going gets tough that the high energy carbohydrates start to sneak back in any time of the day. Whether it be when you're on holidays, when the kids go back to school, when there's some sort of stress in your life, it seems to be at those times that the old habits start to creep back in. So I'm wondering how it would be for you if we could explore some ways today to assist you to create the changes so that any time, no matter what's going on in your life, you can still find a way to make these principles work for you, to ensure that you keep achieving the great results that you have been and ensure that you're not going to be reversing and heading back into the old habits. So Aristotle once said that all change is sweet, yet Frederick Douglass said that there is no change without pain. Well, how would it be if we could have change that's sweet? If we could switch the pain into something that we actually enjoy and find a way to make the changes that are going to work for us in a way that is easy and effortless. It's your choice. And it's choice that assists to see how it is that we can move forward. I've noticed that when we feel that we have no choices is often the times in our lives where we may find ourselves stuck. So for example, if you're telling yourself that if I can't eat carbs, what can I eat? And you're limiting choice, you may notice that in times of stress, that's when you decide to go back because you're not sure what else to do. I know for me that in times in my life when I felt stuck, it's definitely been around that limited choice. I remember when I was living in Alice Springs and I felt like I didn't know where to turn. I felt like I had everything that I thought I wanted in my life. I had my 2 beautiful children, our home, paid maternity leave. On the outside, life was fantastic, yet on the inside, it just didn't feel right. I felt isolated. I felt like every day was the same again and again. And it just felt like something was missing. I felt stuck. And it was then that I met my friend Kaz. And she asked me what it was that I really wanted. And it was the first time I'd stopped to consider that for quite some time. To imagine the possibilities, what it could be like if I really wanted and really gave myself the opportunity to believe it was possible for me. To start seeing how it is that I could turn my passion for health and fitness into a career. The women that I'd be working with and what it would mean for me and for my family. Once I started seeing the possibilities, the choices really started opening up for me and I realised that it was up to me to make the difference. Just as you can make the difference today, opening your minds and seeing how it is that learning about the types of carbohydrates, the way in which your body works, to see how the choices you're making are either working for you or holding you back from achieving your goals. So let's have a look at how the body works, how it is that our body actually responds to carbohydrates. You may have heard the term before, insulin resistance, and wondered, what on earth does that mean? Insulin resistance is when our body starts to shut down from the fat burning to fat storing. And insulin is our key hormone communicator that determines this. When we eat too much of carbohydrates, what happens is we have an excess of blood glucose. It's at this point that insulin will switch from fat burning to fat storing, and the glucose that we're taking in is then stored as fat. When this happens over long periods of time, this can lead to insulin resistance. And insulin resistance has been found to be one of the first causal factors of type 2 diabetes. On the other hand, improving our insulin sensitivity assists our insulin to be more responsive to glucose and to ensure that we're actually burning and utilising the glucose as opposed to saving it, storing it as fat. So our insulin is like the key communicator in our body, which really is the difference that makes the difference. Or, as Paul Cribb says, insulin's like the big daddy of our hormones. It really is governing whether or not you are or aren't achieving your body transformation results. So what are the benefits of improving insulin sensitivity? Well, studies have shown that people who live longer often have improved insulin sensitivity. So if you want to live longer and healthier, it's definitely the way to go. Studies have also shown that improving our insulin sensitivity boosts our fat metabolism. So if it's a lean, mean physique that you're aiming for, then definitely improving your insulin sensitivity is one of your goals. It was first discovered back in 1931 in Vienna that insulin resistance was a key link with diabetes. And we know today that diabetes is one of the leading causes, the leading lifestyle diseases in Australia. We know the contributing factors, yet it's still out there and it's still rising. In fact, studies have shown that Australians eat more than 28.5 spoonfuls of sugar a day, much more than what we need. So we can see how this increased sugar in our diets is definitely having a role in terms of our lifestyle diseases as well as our overall body shape. So what can we do to change this? Well, the good news is you're already on the right track. Eating and exercising the MP way has been shown by research to improve insulin sensitivity and reverse insulin resistance. So even if you're already down the track of insulin resistance or even have the signs that are leading to diabetes, you can change where you're at right now by changing the way that you eat and exercise. So let's have a look at the steps. So firstly, resistance training. So resistance training, specifically using weights, is, as we know, the best way to actually increase our muscle. And increasing our muscle is also linked to improving the way in which our body responds to blood glucose. It's also a way in which we lower our blood pressure and improve the overall functioning of our body. So resistance training definitely needs to be at the cornerstone of an overall health, fitness and just general lifestyle improvement strategy. The second step is intense cardio. Ensuring that you've got intense cardio as part of your overall exercise routine has multiple benefits, one of which is improving your insulin sensitivity. So it may not be your favourite exercise, yet the more that you actually ensure that you're including intense cardio, the greater the overall health benefits, as well as, of course, ensuring that you're boosting your fat metabolism to achieve your body transformation goals. And thirdly, nutrient timing. So you've learned through metabolic precision when and how to consume carbohydrates in a way that aligns the foods you're eating with your body's needs. Specifically, eating high energy carbohydrates in the window as opposed to any time of the day. Studies have shown that it's in the window when our body is most going to be able to utilise the high energy carbohydrates that we're actually eating to convert the fuel that's coming in into fuel that's actually being used for energy as opposed to storing. So this is a really fantastic way of ensuring that you continue to improve your insulin sensitivity. And fourthly, increasing your meal frequency. So as we've talked previously about, the more frequently that you eat, the more it is that you boost your metabolism. What you're also doing by eating more frequently is ensuring that you're actually keeping your blood sugar levels stable, decreasing insulin resistance and boosting insulin sensitivity. So ensuring that you keep up that high frequency meals, eating 6 meals a day roughly every 2 to 4 hours is really key. And fifthly, ensuring that you eat first-class proteins with every meal. First-class proteins are in fact the most effective way of ensuring that we maintain effective blood sugar levels. And often what you notice is that when those high-energy carbohydrates start sneaking back into any time of the day, the first thing that decreases are your first-class protein. You end up with your spikes and your lows, and it's like you keep needing to eat more of the high-energy options to maintain or achieve blood sugar levels, as opposed to protein, which gives you a stable blood sugar level throughout the day. And the sixth step, ensuring that you're choosing plant foods that align with your goals. So plant foods being the low energy carbohydrate choices. Here we want to be eating more fruit and vegetables every time that we actually eat. And in fact, the latest research is showing that premium grains have a much more beneficial role than your everyday wheat-based carbohydrates when it comes to improving your insulin sensitivity. So by now, I would recommend that you start looking at ways in which you can enhance and increase the premium grains that you're consuming in your diet. Premium grains are the way in which our body works most effectively, utilising what it is that's worked best for us in our ancestors and our traditional past, as opposed to going for their simplest and often the most accessible wheat-based products. There's a link included in the email this week which takes you to an article on premium grains to get some ideas of the types of foods that you could also be incorporating into your overall meal plan. And finally, boosting the omega-3 to 6 ratio. So as we've talked about previously, our traditional Western diet has high levels of omega-6, which tends to counteract the omega-3 that we consume in our diet. This leads to inflammation and also impairs our ability to utilise and to respond to blood glucose. So ensuring that you maximise your omega-3 and you find ways to reduce the omega-6 in your diet is also going to be a key strategy to improving the way in which your body responds to glucose and to improve your insulin sensitivity. I've also got a couple of bonuses for you this week. There are a couple of foods which also have the ability to boost your insulin sensitivity. These include coffee, green tea, and cinnamon. Including these foods within your overall eating plan will also boost your insulin sensitivity. And in fact, decreasing your alcohol intake will do the same. Ideally, decreasing any of your beverages that do contain sugar and aiming for 0 calorie in your beverages is really going to assist in terms of you achieving your goals and boosting your insulin sensitivity. So there you have it. There are your 7 steps and how it is that you eating the MP way is continuing to assist you to achieve your body transformation goals and improve your overall health and well-being. Now I'm wondering whether there may be some foods that, even though you know they're no good for you or not assisting you to achieve your goals, that they still keep creeping in. Whether it's chocolate, ice cream, chips, whatever it may be. I'm wondering whether it would be beneficial to find a way to maybe like those foods a little less and like other foods that may work better for you. If you're interested, then I'd love to work with you. Perhaps when we next have our individual session, you could let me know what are the foods you'd like to like a little bit less. And we can have a bit of fun doing a switch from like to dislike and just notice how easy it is to create the change that you want in your life. There you have it. This has been week 6 of the Active Body and Mind program. This is Rachel Van Oosten and I'll be chatting to you again shortly. Have a fantastic week and enjoy your carbs that are working for you. Bye for now.